I am the spider that has made these various webs that you see around the gallery, and I would like to tell you my story. During this, I might hand some of you an object. I'd like you to just hold on to that for me until I'm done with my story, if you would. It's a hot summer's day, somewhere far, far away, when a little fly gets stuck in a web in the corner of a convenience store. Finally some food, thinks the huntsman, starting to think that he should have built his web in a busier area. Alas, there was a more important task at hand, as he began ripping pieces of the fly to gorge his hungry body with. A few days later, he had grown in size due to his tasty meal. He was starting to think that he needed to build a bigger web. He had outgrown this meagre little web in the shadows. And so, he dropped down from the LED lit ceiling. A thread of the finest silk hanging from his spinnerets. He would build a web that would be the biggest and best of them all. He would build a web so grand that he may never need to weave another ever again. For this one, would catch all of the flies that his heart could ever desire. Lost in his grandiose daydream, he didn't notice the little old lady enter the store for her weekly milk run. In fact, she didn't notice the presence of the auntie until she was staring at her straight in her wise, dark eyes. The lady screamed at the top of her lungs. Eyebrows furrowed and stumbled back. Our spider scrambled to pull herself back up her makeshift bungee cord, but it was too late. The woman ran, screaming, out of the store and all of the way back home. That was my first customer in weeks, sighed the shopkeeper, hopelessly, looking at the storeroom full of stacks of produce and goods just sat gathering dust. You can't believe that was my fault, chuckled the spider. I was making my web. It's got nothing to do with you and your failing business. She huffed, crawling back into her solitary corner. The next morning, her web had doubled in size. She had spent all night renovating in spite of the shopkeeper. It was nothing to do with him. The shopkeeper awoke from his lonely camp bed in the corner of the stockroom, ready to start a new day, and hoping to God that today might be the day that he would finally get some customers. Sure enough, around noon, just as he was starting to lose that hopeful enthusiasm that he had started his morning with, a gaggle of giggly teenage girls entered his shop. The little bell above the door alerting him of the unusual group. As it so happens, our little spider friend was asleep as the girls entered the shop. That was until one of the girls spotted the fluffy teddies on the top shelf that looked like some kind of demon rabbit hybrid. The girls didn't seem to share this opinion as they squealed with delight, waking our spider from her second nap of the day. How dare they, he thought. And oh, how his anger grew when one of the girls, braver than the rest, reached up to that top shelf, right next to the web that she had spent all night meticulously building, and grabbed the teddy. Her careless, excited movements tore one of the most important strands of our spider's web releasing the tension and bringing the spider right onto the hand of the girl with the teddy. "You destroyed my web," she shouted in the girl's face, before using all her strength to bite down, taking a little chunk out of the girl's hand. She ran, flaming out of the shop, her gaggle following close behind. "Miss Spider, you can't keep scaring away my customers." The shopkeeper looked at the spider with tears in his eyes and pure sorrow on his face. "All my stock is getting stale. I have no money. I don't know what I'll do." "This is not my fault," said the spider. "Maybe if you had better marketing, or better items, or better customer service, then maybe your shop would get more than one customer per day." Our spider went to bed, feeling proud of herself for winning that argument and for teaching those stuck-up girls a lesson. The shopkeeper went to bed in his lonely corner, defeated. The next morning, they both were stirred by the sounds of shouting from people outside of the shop. Processing this, the shopkeeper rushed himself awake to get dressed and go and see what this commotion was about, not knowing why there could possibly be people outside of his shop at this hour. Sure enough, as he walked outside, his half-asleep brain was correct. There was a crowd of people shouting and heckling things right outside of the shop. As he looked closer, he recognised a few of those girls from yesterday and realised that they were their parents. Hesitating, seeing the angry looks on all of their faces, he said to them, "Hello, I'm the shopkeeper. How can I help you?" "My daughter was bit by a venomous spider in your shop," said a middle-aged woman with a strange pixie-like haircut. "We're protesting to get this highly dangerous establishment closed down and hopefully demolished for good." The blood rushed from his head. His life's work, his home, his entire existence would all be meaningless because of the actions of one selfish little spider. He turned on his heel, not having the energy to argue back, and marched himself back into the shop. He needed to deal with the problem right at the root. As soon as he got inside, the spider began hassling and heckling him with questions. "Who are they? What do they want? Is that stuck-up little girl from yesterday? They'd better not be coming in here." Seeing the look of hopelessness on the shopkeeper's face, she lost her train of thought. "What?" she asked. "They want to knock the building down. They say it's dangerous. Venomous animals and stuff." For the first time in her little life, the spider was at a loss for words. "They want to knock down the whole building," she stammered, her bitchy facade completely dissolved. "Because of me?" she asked, not sure if she wanted to hear the answer. "Yes," he said. "I'm going to bed." He left the spider to wonder how a creature as small as her could possibly have made all those people outside so very angry, and what she could possibly do about it. At last, night came, and the angry people went home to sleep, but something in her little arthropod body told her that they would be back the next morning with all of their frustrations. She had to do something. If her webs could make people angry so easily, then surely that they could make people happy as well. Surely others would be able to see the beauty that she saw in her creations. And so she stayed up all night, thinking and weaving and thinking some more and weaving again and again and again, until at last she looked back at her work and knew for the first time in her life that she had created true art, not for the purpose of killing meagre flies for unsatisfying meals in the shadows, but for the purpose of bringing joy to others, so that they may bring joy into others' lives as well. The web was marvellous. It stretched across the ceiling of the store, glittering like the night sky. The strands were expertly threaded in a solar system of texture and form that was beyond the human mind's comprehension. And when the angry people came out that morning with their pitchforks, the shop light flickered on, and through the window, the foggy pavement was illuminated into a gallery of light and colour. They were amazed. One by one, they stepped closer to examine the breathtaking display. None of them could believe that such a small, insignificant creature could have created such a marvel. And when the shopkeeper awoke from his restless sleep, braced for the heckling and shouting that he assumed would fill his ears, instead, he spotted a dappled golden light spilling into the storeroom. Blinking a few times to make sure his eyes weren't playing tricks, he followed this golden light to the miracle in his shop. He had never seen anything so beautiful, nor had he ever seen more people in his shop. The stupid little spider had really done it. Soon, his little convenience store would be the talk of the town.
Yeah.